Today on TruckU, we give you an inside pass to one of the fastest growing races in America and crown a new champion at the Griffin King of the Hammers.
Hey, welcome to TruckU. As you know, our rock racer is being specifically built for next year's Griffin King of the Hammers competition. Now, King of the Hammers is a unique format where you've got the tough obstacles of rock crawling combined with the wide open speed of desert racing, and believe me, it is a fun deal. Now, it's only been around in full competition for a few years, and it's already established a tremendous following. So what better way to learn some ideas for our rig and to learn the intricacies of the competition than to go out there and experience it firsthand. So to do that, well, we sent out Steele to get up close and personal with this year's Griffin King of the Hammers.
This year's King of the Hammers race is 135 miles. It's longer, it's harder, it's faster, and there's brand new trails that nobody has even driven yet.
This is the Means Dry Lake Bed in Johnson Valley, California, about an hour outside of Riverside, and we're getting ready for the King of the Hammers event. Now, if you're not accustomed to this event, if you don't know what it's all about, think about it like this. You take all of the speed and all of the endurance of a Baja race, then you add in the precision of a rock crawling event and all the carnage of a rock race. You take all of those elements, put them in a big pot, mix them up, and you get the King of the Hammers. Now, another thing these drivers are having to deal with are the elements out here. It's pretty cold this morning, and they've had a lot of rain this week, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because everybody's visibility is a lot better.
It started out a dream. We were out wheeling. He's like, someday somebody's gonna pay me to do this. And we all laughed at him.
So this event over this last 4 years has grown tremendously. This is the third official year. The first year was a pre-run event just to see if it would happen. And that's where that whole OG 13 thing came about that people hear of.
Being OG 13 out here and 12 others and myself just taking off in the middle of the afternoon with nobody really knowing what's going on, to turn it into this is kind of a big deal.
Jeff and Dave really they did a job putting it all together. And when you look around out here, I mean, we're 5 days away from the race. There's a couple thousand people here. Everybody's wrenching on their stuff, having a good time. This is what it's all about.
This is the big one to get ready for. It's the first race of the season. It's the biggest race of the season. I guarantee everybody out here wishes they had more time to test, but this is the start of 2010.
Jason, I want to run something by you, and you tell me what you think of the sound, right? Two-time king. How's that sound to you?
I would love it, man. It'd be the best thing ever. Nobody's ever done that yet, and I think we've got all the pieces of the puzzle to make it happen, so we're going to go for it.
I'd like to run that pace all the time, but usually at the beginning of the race, you pick a pace that's safe and not going to tear stuff up, but once it comes down close to the end and you got someone in front of you, yeah, you're definitely driving the wheels off of it, and it makes it fun when you get to, so.
It's just outrageous. How many people are here, what everybody's talking about, all the money being spent on the rigs all the time. Everybody's, it's a big deal. Maybe the biggest deal in some people's lives.
There's gonna be a lot of people out here, and there's gonna be a lot of people giving it their all, just like us, so that's all we can do.
It's incredible. I think a lot of the off-road guys, we really don't understand what this is about. We think it's slow going and everything, but there's hundreds of things in an off-road race that can get you. There's thousands of things here at King of the Hammers that can get you. Big difference.
We're about to start the 2010 Four Wheel Parts Last Chance Qualifier. There's a whole bunch of guys that are competing right now the next 2 days to get into the main event. Of all the guys, the top 20 times are going to make it.
43 drivers compete in the Four Wheel Parts Last Chance Qualifier, battling for those final 20 spots in the main race. Drivers run a 6-mile course, giving them a taste of what the King of the Hammers is going to dish out.
I think we blew it out in about the first quarter mile of the course. And yeah, had to struggle through the rest of it.
upside down anywhere else in the world right now.
You know, we were the fastest car today, 5th overall in the LCQ, so I'm pretty happy, even though we had to winch back doors. So we'll take it.
I was trying to go a little too far to the right. When I finally tried it to the left, I went right up. And other than that, I ran my race. I didn't think I'd have a chance of having the best time so far, but it looks like I will get in the race Friday.
This is the 2-minute warning. It's been called, and they're going to be released 2 at a time every 30 seconds until everybody's out there on the track. It's just like watching Cannonball Run from a couple of years ago. I'm looking for AJ McClure and Captain Chaos, baby. I know they're out there somewhere.
It sends people further away from their comfort zone.
This is probably the hardest trail on the course. So after 135 miles of killing themselves, they're gonna drive down Spooners, which could be fun.
The last 35 miles are just 12 of the worst trails in this country. So you've really gotta have your A game going and be ready to get out there and make it happen.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they get that far away from their pits and that far away from home.
We're from North Carolina, so we don't have this kind of terrain there. It's the first time either of us really wheeled out here a whole lot.
It's the biggest event there is in rock sports and dirt sports and whatever else right now.
Yeah, we went out and ran the first 40 miles yesterday. That's really rough out there. The rest of it, been out on the bikes a bit.
We got a little time in, the shocks are working killer, the FOA's just totally changed this car. Tires are working good as usual, but we're used to that by now, and I think this car's locked and loaded, ready to go.
Oh, I'm not king of the hammer, I'm the jester of the hammers.
This is a huge deal for us. This is where we wanted to be. This is the best test for us, this is the best venue for us, and it's the biggest venue for us.
I'm going to win. The guys that got spare tires and axles and all that stuff, they're here to get second. And, you know, we're here to do one thing, and that's to win. And if we're outside the vehicle, we're not going to win.
Be safe, girl. So how big of a deal is it to have the pole position out here?
Well, it is. You know, you got everybody hunting for you, so it's a little scary. I couldn't have asked for a better spot, you know, right up here in the front. And hopefully we won't have the traffic jams that we had last year.
I'm excited now.
Yeah.
We're 2 minutes away from getting started. They're going to go 2 at a time every 30 seconds. Are off. It was a beautiful, flawless, smooth start. They're all out there. Take a look at the people walking around. There's literally thousands of people lining both sides of this as all these vehicles take off. Now everybody's hanging out. They've got 135 miles of track. They're going to go find canyons and little spots to hang out and party, and that's where we're going to go out and check in with some of that action as well. It's race time, baby. This is awesome. The Griffin King of the Hammers course starts you off up over a small hill and then out into the open desert. Brian Shirley, here all the way from Kansas, hits it hard into the Melville Lake bed. But not every car stays out of trouble early on. We already start seeing guys like last chance qualifier Lauren Healy jumping out, passing Greg Hussey. Former King Shannon Campbell mashes on the gas across the whoops. His state-of-the-art IFS car makes it look so easy. It's a drag race across Melville Lake bed. The pack closes in on the first rock sections. Appetizers, as the locals call them, just a taste of what waits in the hammer trails as the Griffin King of the Hammers continues. Welcome back to the Griffin King of the Hammers special. The drivers find themselves only a few miles into this 135-mile race, and things only get tougher and wilder from here.
You know, all the rock trails are really at the end, so if you can get through the desert section with a healthy car, I think you're looking pretty good.
I mean, you really got to know the trail and what you're doing and how hard you can hit something, or you're just going to kill it right there.
Hammers, cars, roll. It's just the name of the game out here. This is Tom Ways, who gets it good here, but eventually will get this thing upright and finish the race inside the top 15. Anything goes here at the Hammers. Just bring a beefy roll cage. Jason Shearer, Rick Mooneyham are coming in 1 and 2 just like last year. So it's kind of like a replay going on. Guys are starting to come in right now for the first pit stop of the afternoon. Well, we got broken parts. We got trucks that are already down for the day. The carnage is really just getting started.
Started 40 something, and now he's the first one through the pits. So far so good.
Rick seems to be about second place on the course, but we don't know exactly where he's at time-wise right now, so we're just hoping he's able to make up some time.
The pit stops may be over for some, but as Dean Bullock's team finds out, the Griffin King of the Hammers race course will shut you down whenever it wants to.
Okay. Yeah. We hit that wash right there where them guys are coming through at about probably 80. I kind of did an endo, you know, and then a barrel roll, and we was going all different directions there for a minute.
The outer limits feels more like the Twilight Zone. Jason Shearer is holding on to a pretty tight lead in the race here as Derek West and a few others are right on his tail.
We're getting twisted up, wedged in there, tires buckling, almost rolling. It's no joke.
This could be the greatest save ever as Derek West shows us all how to power through on two wheels. And the first rig on the line this morning, Buzz Bronsema, is still on the course fighting as we make our way to backdoor. 2007 King John Reynolds attacks backdoor the fast way. Just line up and go. Lauren Healy takes a more gentle line down. Lauren winched in the LCQ. No winch this time as he finds the right line. This is Chocolate Thunder. We're at about mile marker 113. Now, the drivers have already conquered a lot of desert and a couple different trails as well, but this is really where the hammers start. This is the first test. You've got desert racers coming in right here that are cringing, and the rock crawlers are going, finally, the spot in the track for us. And you can look behind me and see all the people that are ready, all the fans that have come up here. These guys know exactly what they want to see.
Voi state guardando il King of the Hammer 2010. King of the Hammer.
The front pack continues on. Derek West, Brad Lovell, and Lauren Healy, all three just behind John Reynolds and Buzz Bronsema, and none of them quite know who is in the actual lead as they charge towards Wrecking Ball and Sledgehammer. We've saved the best for last as we throw the hammer down and crown a champ of the 2010 Griffin King of the Hammers.
You're gonna just need to maintain a good tempo.
Everybody's gonna be worn out, and the trick is not to make mistakes because your focus is low, because you're almost done at that point.
20 miles left on this brutal Griffin King of the Hammers course, and it started to become a three-man race between Derek West, Brad Lovell, and Lauren Healy. Healy got into the race through the last chance qualifier and didn't even pre-run the course.
Once you get up to the top of Jack, the view up there is just amazing. You know, you almost want to stop in the middle of the race and just take it all in. It's definitely kind of breathtaking.
Rick Mooneyham had no time to take in the view as his newly sponsored Lucas Oil rig had a problem with the stub shaft. He's notorious for having one of the cleanest rigs on the lake bed, always a top finisher, but even a guy like this can find himself wrenching at the pits trying to stay alive. 18 miles to go and it feels like an eternity. Not many drivers even make it this far. Jackhammer is filled with some of the toughest rocks on the course, which makes it hard to know where the course even begins.
I think Jeff Knoll set some stuff up with a dirt bike because I don't think a dirt bike would barely fit through some of the stuff we just went through.
The race can be won or lost at Sledgehammer, a gigantic coliseum formed by Mother Nature. Thousands of maniacs packed into a rock amphitheater here to see the action up close and personal.
Instant respect for all those rock crawlers. I always thought, oh, they're just going slow, banging up some rocks. But you see it and you're like, man, where's the course? It's supposed to go over what?
If I was working for NASA and I wanted to build a vehicle that could go on any planet and run around and get pretty much anywhere, this is what I would build, one of these rock crawlers, desert buggies.
All these people are missing work right now to be a part of the biggest rock event on the planet.
With only 10 tough miles to go, Brad Lovell moves aside as Derek West takes a new line through the rocks and he gets a little help from Brad's spotter.
Finally going down Spooners, we ended up getting caught up on a couple rocks. I almost rolled it a couple times and I could see the chopper, I could see other vehicles coming up behind us. And
he was unable to get off that rock, and Bill with Torchmate was kind enough to actually spot us around Brad and off of a really steep, hairy climb. He could have said, no, you're going to have to stay until we get off this rock, and that would have made the difference in the race. Brad would have won it. We wouldn't have gotten around him.
We are at the finish line. There's a lot of confusion as to who is in the lead because it just keeps changing. It's really almost impossible to keep track. We're not going to know anything until they come around that corner right there.
At that point, we knew Derek West was ahead of us, Rick Mooneyham was ahead of us.
He's got to be in here for 25 minutes to win this thing, so it's going to be a close one.
I've never ever driven anything as hard as I drove those last 15 miles trying to keep up with Derek West. We were bouncing across bushes and laying sideways. It was definitely pretty crazy.
All right, guys. 28-second split time difference between the two drivers, and the winner of the 2010 Griffin King of the Hammers is Lauren Healy.
Didn't get you for nothing all day long. All day I was watching you.
This is honestly only the second or third competition race we've ever done. We're rock crawlers from Farmington, We never thought of it was ever possible.
Listen, whatever you do, keep it the same. Don't change it, man.
Absolutely.
Congratulations,
Looking
brother.
forward to racing some more.
All right, brother. Have a good time tonight.
Thank
you
you
deserve
much.
everything, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speedtv.com or visit our website at truckutv.com.
Hey, welcome back to TruckU, and welcome back to you, buddy, man. It's good to see you back here today.
Thanks. It's good to be home. This is a little bit more controlled. That was chaotic out there. I tell you, that Griffin King of the Hammers event is really cool. If you ever get a chance to check it out, you should. It's far different from what I'm used to going out to and watching. So many of the guys, they all want to win. But let's be honest, the bigger picture out there, it's so brutal, is just finishing the race. That's what so many of them want to do. There's a great feeling of accomplishment if you could just finish the thing, In fact, when I was leaving at the end of the day, I bet you I was on the jet flying home, and there were still guys out there in the desert.
What a shock you bolted.
No, I didn't leave. The event was done. I mean, that's how brutal it was. There may still be guys out there. I don't even know. Absolutely. Nice to be back, and we've got some new stuff, too, like this billet aluminum grill from LMC Truck. And this is nice, man, with these 4mm bars all the way down. It looks great.
Yeah, no, this is designed for the ultimate sport truck. It gives you that custom look like it came off of a street rod or the ultimate, high-end sport truck, but at a fraction of the cost. Now, it's made of the highest quality billet aluminum. And as always, LMC Truck has got these free catalogs, which are great. They've got exploded diagrams inside. They got pictures, descriptions of the parts you need. So whether it's for a Dodge, Chevy, or Ford truck dating back to 1947, LMC Truck's got you covered.
Let's say you're working on a classic vehicle and you want to bring some modern sound into the equation, but you don't want to go cutting up the dash and putting holes in it, right? Because that's going to ruin the integrity of the whole thing that you're working on. Well, the guys at Retro Sound have got what you need to bring that modern sound to that classic vehicle.
Now, if you look at this Apache dash, you'll notice it looks so good because of the Retro Sound Apache radio that's put into it. It's the only one that's been tooled specifically for it, so makes it look period correct, and gives you all the modern features you want in today's radios. Now, they've got options for just about anything you want from 1985 vehicles and sooner. So if it's predated from domestic or imported, Retro Sound's got an option for you.
Yeah, now they've also got the Model 1, which is great for classic Chevrolet vehicles. Now, the best thing is you've got all the modern conveniences, right? Everything that you need from a modern radio standpoint, you can have now in your classic vehicle, care of the guys at Retro Sound. Now, this is a nice array of bends and adapters from Heartthrob Exhaust, and this is really cool, especially if you're having to make your own custom exhaust. These little pieces are going to make life a lot easier.
Now, these aluminized steel manual bends you're seeing here are going to give you maximum flow and performance. So whether you're working on a small truck or a big industrial application, Heartthrob stocks this in all different lengths and diameters from 1 inch all the way up to 5 inches. So you've got the parts and pieces you need for your custom exhaust.
And they've got these adapters too that go from 1 1/4 inch all the way up to 6 inches. So you can slide them on, they go on nice and easy, and you can really adapt your system to whatever you need. And then once it's all done, you can weld it up and it's good and durable. It's the guys at Heartthrob Exhaust have got everything you need for your custom exhaust, and that is going to wrap it up for us today, man. We hope you guys had a good time. It was a great time out there at the King of the Hammers.
Next year I'm going out. It looked like a lot of fun.
It will be. Take some comfortable shoes because it's a long day, man.